If you played Splunky for long enough, you might eventually notice its random levels are made from predefined templates, pieced together like a puzzle. There are 4 different room types and up to 16 variations for each, meaning there aren't even 100 unique templates. And yet, Splunky might be one of the most replayable games out there. How does it do this? That's what I've been trying to figure out. Hey guys, and welcome back to another Even Heroes Die Devlog. So, I'm generating some basic levels, we've got some new enemies, what's next? I haven't really felt like the game's levels have been all that interesting, so I wanted to try and spice them up a bit. So I looked to one of my favorite roguelites for inspiration, Splunky. The game achieves so much variation with a limited number of level templates, even fewer than I have right now. On their own, these levels actually aren't that interesting. But along the way, the game throws a series of decisions at you that are designed to tempt, distract, and ultimately destroy you. There's the damsel, who you can bring to the end for a precious extra heart, or sacrifice her to the gods for a reward. You have shops, which have essential items like bombs, but with these exorbitant prices, you might just be tempted to blow the place up. And you can do that in this game and get away with it. But you might just spark a rivalry that will last for the rest of the game. There are also gems and treasures scattered throughout each level, all daring you to risk your neck so you can boost your score or afford an item at the shop without resorting to violence. These moment-to-moment decisions chain together into a unique tragedy on each run. Looking back, this idea of having special events sprinkled randomly throughout the game is found in most roguelites. The most compelling ones give you a chance to roll the proverbial dice. They give you hope that you might find something really good. Usually you just find garbage. So I've started brainstorming some events that would fit into Even Heroes Die. The first of which is the locked chest and locksmith. The idea is simple. While wandering around, you might find a locked chest. These will contain something really good. I'm not sure what yet. Maybe an extra upgrade, a vial, a bunch of money, maybe a combination of those things. But to open it, you'll need to carry it safely back to a locksmith. And these chests are very much breakable. I haven't decided what happens when the chest breaks yet. I could just have it give you nothing, but it might be interesting if there's a small chance that you get what's inside it for free. Maybe players low on health or time would be tempted to smash it open to get out of a desperate situation. Maybe you have a small chance of getting the item, and if you don't, you get cursed or something. So there's more of a risk to breaking it. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I'm also toying with the idea of a portable key that can be used to open these chests, purchased from the locksmith for a premium. If you've had a lucky run so far and have a little extra cash, why not just throw money at your problems? What's interesting about my curse system that I've created is that your time is also kind of like a currency. You might say the player has nothing to lose by trying to carry the chest to the locksmith, but I'd argue that you're burning precious time before the hero succumbs to his curse. It's a time management issue. Can I afford to take the time to lug this chest over there? Can I afford to get hit along the way? Am I in desperate need of whatever help might be inside? This locksmith idea is roughly implemented, pending an NPC sprite, but I also have some less concrete ideas related to the time as a currency one. Maybe there's an inn where you can sleep to restore some health, but your curse meter fills up as well. Remember, the player only has so much time left to live. Maybe you can find a dojo and learn some kind of forbidden technique, but now your lifespan is shorter. There are a few kinks to work out. What if your meter is almost full? It might be kind of jarring if the Reaper showed up as soon as you woke up from a nap. I guess story-wise, the inn could just refuse you if you look like you're about to die in their bed. I have to think about these things a little bit more, but I think I've got something. Let me know if you have any ideas or if you think those ideas are good. I also added a few new level mechanics to help keep things interesting. At some point in the forest dungeon, you can find a switch that causes strong gusts of wind to periodically flow through the area. The player, as well as surrounding objects and enemies, will be pushed towards the ceiling. This might let you access new areas, but it can also push you into spikes on the ceiling that previously seemed non-threatening. As non-threatening as spikes can be, anyway. Combat also changes significantly when you're trying to fight without the ability to jump. The player seemed a little too stuck against the ceiling while the wind was active, so I added an upward slash. When you strike the ceiling, you'll get a little bounce against the wind current, giving you just a little more freedom of movement. If you don't want to get swept up by these powerful gusts, you can pick up a nearby object to weigh you down. This is where having an item like the bomb bag is really useful. because you can whip one out at any time. The downside being, well, you're holding a bomb, so be careful. This also seems like a good opportunity to add in some iron boots, or something similar. I'm hoping that once activated, this wind mechanic will recontextualize the level for players and help keep things fresh. With all the interesting stuff out of the way, here are some miscellaneous small things I've added or changed. Bombs explode much more quickly now, and they'll be triggered by nearby attacks and explosions. They're a lot more dangerous because of this, which is fun, and you won't have to wait around nearly as long for them to explode. You've seen them before in games like Mario and Zelda. I added these blocks that can be turned on or off depending on whether a switch is activated. This works really well with the boomerang upgrade, which can hit switches through walls. The player's attack hitboxes are bigger and last longer. There was a pretty stupid bug that was causing the player's attack hitboxes to only last for 1 frame. I can't believe it took me this long to notice it. Basically, your attacks only have a 1/60th of a second window to actually hit anything. So if you play the demo and find that the timing of your attacks feels really unforgiving, there you go. It feels much more forgiving now. It might even be a little bit too easy. Really gotta update that demo again sometime soon. Maybe make it like a quarterly thing or something. Because I added in the locked chest mechanic, I had to add the ability to track items on the map that could move around. The player could pick it up and bring it somewhere else, but then drop it and leave it. So now the map will account for that. I also went back and did a lot of tweaking of the level density. Some of the level templates just felt like they were trying to cram in too much, and they made the game feel too claustrophobic. So I went back through every level template and made a few changes. I made everything a lot less cluttered. I tried to put less solid blocks in the center part of the room, instead opting for platforms that could be jumped through. I lowered the enemy density a little bit too, so instead of roughly 3 enemies to a map square, there will be 2. I also removed the wall jump as a default ability, as having the double jump and the wall jump off the bat really doesn't leave that much room for progression. And last but not least, here's a sneak peek at the next area I'm working on. I've always loved snowy areas in video games. Chapter 7 of Paper Mario and Shiver Star and Kirby 64 are some of my favorite worlds in gaming. Hopefully, I can make something that lives up to them. Alright, well that's all for this devlog. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of the game's development and the new mechanics and ideas. And please remember to like if you enjoyed the video, it really does help me out, and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with the project. Thanks again, I'll see you next time.